All right, welcome everyone. My name is Mario and I am the head of partnerships here at HL Pro Tools. Today is our Monday troubleshooting call, so it will be open question and answer for as long as you guys have questions and answers. I do have a hard stop here in 1 hour. So it looks like Kelly knows the drill, raises his hand first. So Kelly, go ahead. How can I help you?
Still working on that program we talked about last week. They're making calls for me. I just want to see if I can set up something a little differently here. Um, what they're doing is they've uploaded the list. Now, brings up a question. When I imported, the names, it said one of the things at the bottom was these names are something you've gotten. They're not from third party. What do we do about that? I mean, I'm not texting them, I'm not emailing them. We're physically calling them. But that's how do we deal with that? Because I mean, everybody's uploading stuff from third parties.
Yeah, that's more a disclaimer if you're gonna text people and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I'm not texting.
yeah, you're cold calling them, which is legal for business to business.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong button. All right. So now what I want to do is I've got them all assigned a number. I've got 50 numbers in here. I took three of them and assigned each one of those to one of those numbers. What I'd like to do is change this to where if they call back, because sometimes they call back or something, most of the time they can't reach anybody. Uh, and if they call back, I want them to go into an AI setup to where an AI will answer the phone and tell them, how are you? So I got a missed call here. Yeah, one of our salespeople reached out to you to uh, see about talking about our SEO services. So whatever I say here. But I'd like them to call back to one of my numbers and have an AI answer that phone. Now, I only want ones from certain numbers. And we talked about this before. I'd love to use this AI for voice, but I don't want them every time they call me that they get this AI. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to just limit the ones that, you know, I've never spoke to before. Once I talk to them, I don't want them to have that happen again.
Yeah, that's the only way. The only way currently to do that is to route them either all to the AI or none to the AI.
There's got to be a way around this. Can't we use what we said before? Like I showed you the already contacted tag or something. Can't we do that?
But there's no way to route them dynamically number wise. The only way that might work is with an IVR setup, but I haven't tested, to be honest, I don't know that much about the IVR, so let me look into that really quick. I don't think you can dynamically route people in the IVR either.
I've never used that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Hold on a second. Let's investigate together. So let me
Want me to
switch.
stop sharing?
Yeah, let me switch your screen share. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add an IVR trigger. And that one's tied to a voice AI, so I can't add an IVR trigger. So let me untie that from the voice AI. You know, Zoom has all these like pop-ups and windows and things like that. It's really just kind of a pain in the behind.
Yep.
All right, so I'm actually just gonna buy a new phone number. The other Zoom bar out of the way. All right, now let's move the zoom bar again. Go back here. Let's do an IVR trigger.
What's IVR stand for?
What'd you say?
What does it stand for?
Intelligent voice routing.
Okay.
So it might work if you did. So you'd end up having to buy multiple numbers to associate your voice bot with.
Right. I already have one assigned. I'm calling her Jennifer. And it's
So if you did this, and then you put them on the none branch, and you said all calls that have none connect to call and you put in that number that's associated with the voice bot, that would work. Does that make sense?
that's anybody that has a none.
Yeah, so the way that I put it is it starts the IVR trigger, which is tied to a number. The condition says anyone that does not have a tag and whatever that tag you select, or it would be includes this tag. So if they include the called or the answered tag or whatever contacted tag, in other words, like you have to filter these people somehow. So if they include that filter, then they're going to go down this branch and you'll connect them to a person. So you do an IVR connect to call, select you as the user, right? And then you do another one on the none branch that is connect to call. And this one would be a custom number, and this would be the number for the voice bot.
Okay. That sounds like it would work.
That should work.
So as soon as let's just say somebody calls me and I take the one on the left, the all AI call, connect call, I talk to them. I have to tag them again with something else.
Tag them with something that would denote that you don't want them to go through the IVR and go to the bot.
I just got to remember to tag them.
Yep.
So that would be in the none side.
Would be if they call in and they don't have that tag, then they would go to the voice AI bot.
Okay. Maybe I'll try to work on this here while you take a couple of those questions, see if I get it right.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right.
Next up is Becky.
Hi there.
Hello, hello, hello.
I have a bakery that wants to be able to do a bunch of different variants in the store feature. Which I can do the variants and stuff like that, but then they want to do add-ons. So like if they have cupcakes, they could do like a 12 or a 6-pack, and then they can do like strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate. But then they want to be able to do add-ons like sprinkles or icing or whatever. And so I chatted with HighLevel support and they said there is no way of doing that feature. But I was wondering, I just got on here to be like, if there's a workaround, if anybody kind of knows anything a little bit different on how I can kind of get this done for them.
Do the sprinkles or other add-ons vary by quantity in price? So if I have 3 cookies or 3 cupcakes, is the sprinkles $1? And if I have 6 cupcakes, the sprinkles are $2?
So the way that it looks like they have it is just that the sprinkles in general are $3.
So then why not just make an extra product called sprinkles?
So, but like a separate product, but then how would I put that as an add-on for the cupcakes? Or for them to even idea, because like then that kind of brings up the concern of like, okay, if somebody orders the cupcakes and then they order like a brownie bar, but they only want the sprinkles on the cupcakes. So it's not like just adding another product to
Yeah, you'd
to
have to denote it by like cupcake sprinkles. So in the cupcakes because they do the same thing on Uber Eats and
Mhm.
on DoorDash to work around the system limitation, where you have a separate product that's technically called like cupcake sprinkles, and it's in the cupcakes category. And in the cupcakes description, you would put in big letters, if you want sprinkles, make sure and add sprinkles as a product, like add sprinkles to your.
Okay, so then they would have to like back out of that particular product page and go to like the main
Yes,
home product page.
there's no
And that's
other
what
way.
they do on Uber Eats or DoorDash.
Yep.
Okay.
Like
So,
Chinese food that has like a bunch of weird combinations, that's the only way that they do it.
okay. Yeah, see, they are on Square right now, and Square does it. And so they want to migrate over to what I'm doing, but I didn't know how to do that. Okay.
So
So it's just,
Square
yeah.
does integrate natively with HighLevel,
Okay.
and so does Shopify. HighLevel's e-commerce build is fairly skateboardy right now in terms of like development level. So I personally don't recommend putting people on HighLevel's e-com platform unless they're very like basic in their needs.
Yeah. So it's catching on too as well with this.
Yeah.
So they wanted like a refresh of their website. So I may just have to actually just do that on Square and then just integrate like the forms and stuff like that for HighLevel. Thoughts on that?
That's a pretty good idea.
Okay. Because I just didn't know how complicated it would be to like have to do like a whole nother product for the vegan cupcakes and like they have to back out. And then that makes it like difficult for the user and then they won't do it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so then on a side note, I had seen that like in the integration section that you can integrate Square with HighLevel. But then since they came out with the Square as the payment processor, I don't see that like integration anymore. It's just at the Square payment on the payments link. So if they do use it at the payments section, will it integrate, like bring in all their contacts and all that kind of stuff? Do you know the answer?
I do not. Let me look at the integrations right now. Hold on a second.
Okay.
See, Wave, Facebook, Clio, TikTok, Slack, Shippo. You're right. They have moved it. That's a really good question.
Yeah, they like put it under payments and like you can integrate it as the payment processor. I haven't gone through that process yet to see if it would bring in any of information or anything like that from it, or if it's just like payment processing.
Let me look. According to the HighLevel help docs, it should.
Okay.
So I would recommend just trying it.
Okay.
Um, and not promising anything to them. There is a Square integration via make.com and Zapier.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always an option too.
Okay.
But according to the high-level help docs, it says yes.
It says yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure thing. Next up is Ocean.
Hey there. All right, so we had a monstrous snapshot built out that I am now scared of myself. And like I mapped the whole thing out for Ben and his team, and they did a phenomenal job. And now I'm like, this thing is so big, I'm actually scared of it. And I'm wondering how I can tell if you know what is, because I know like HL Pro Tools also loads in snapshots or like automations that we didn't necessarily ask for. And I'm just wondering how to like simplify this for myself or even learn it. And if you have recommendations on that.
So if you so you had a custom build out, you said, was it done by Pro Tools?
It was, yeah.
We likely would not have loaded anything that you did not ask for. Do you have specific examples of automations that you can show me really quick and I can kind of look through your snapshot?
Yeah. Yeah, one of the examples was a or it was like a having the client confirm their information workflow that was on. And so the way that I discovered this was that when my clients loaded their clients into their sub account, the system started emailing their clients to update their information, and then their clients all thought that it was spam.
Oh no.
And so they reported like spam, and they were like, hey, just so you know, somebody's like hacked your account, and it was a whole thing. So I found where that was and I turned it off, but there's a ton of these that I hadn't asked for that I think they maybe over delivered on, or yeah.
So I don't know specifically what they would have included. It would be from our skeleton snapshot, which is the core framework to all of our, like, it's like the foundational framework to all of our snapshots. So
Okay, maybe that was it. Is there somewhere that I could learn about that? Like videos or
I don't have that. It should be in your membership area.
okay.
And in the membership area, there should be a like foundation snapshots course.
Okay, good to know.
And that would be where it would have all the foundational snapshots. Me personally, like whenever I load a snapshot into a agency account, the first thing that I do is I load it into a sub account that's a demo account and I add a contact and test it.
Mm.
And I always turn off all of the automations. Like, so I load the snapshot because whenever you publish a snapshot, most of the time it comes with automations enabled. So I load the snapshot into that demo account. I turn off all the workflows. And then I enable them one by one after going through them. But I'm a little bit more like meticulous in my snapshot deployments because I've had the same thing happen as well. So one thing I would recommend doing is to get familiar with it. You can ask them for like extensive documentation. They should be able to provide that because we document everything we do.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good to know.
So it should come with a doc file,
Okay.
and in that doc file, it'll have all of the automations, their purposes, and everything like that.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's super helpful. Okay.
Yes, just ask for that. But my recommendation for everybody, like whenever you load in a snapshot, always never immediately deploy it to a client account. Always load it into a dummy account that's like star star the name of the snapshot star star, and then immediately turn off all the automations and enable them, go folder by folder and enable them one by one so that you know exactly what's going to happen in that snapshot. Otherwise, like situations like that happen. So
Yeah.
just like for the future, like that's what I would definitely recommend.
Okay. And can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so with our snapshot that we had built out, we basically built like one funnel, but in 4 different brands. So the Helena, the Dr. V, the DL, and the Anomaly that's the snapshot. And it's all been built under one snapshot sub account, which is crazy when I'm going to load, like our client chooses which kind of brand they want. But then when I'm loading it in, I have to like uncheck everything that's associated to all the other 3 that they don't want. So would you recommend that like each brand, each business in a box has its own sub account?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so what you'd do is you'd have one master snapshot account with all of the brands in it. And then you'd take that, turn off all the workflows, and then snapshot that account and deploy that with like one time for each brand into individual sub accounts. And then only check the items that are relevant for that specific vertical of the snapshot, so that when you re-snapshot those accounts, you only get the verticals that are relevant and that way every time that you load it, you're not having to load the whole thing and keep unchecking stuff every time. It'll like, it's a little bit more work up front, but it's going to save you a ton of time in the long
Okay, awesome. And then
run.
the person who originally tried to bring this vision to life had created for each 1-page website with the funnel that we created. She has a lot more steps and forms associated. Like she built one form for each of the brands basically. And I was just last night going through this and I'm like, I wonder if she unknowingly overdid it and if like one form and one calendar and one survey like is enough, and then the snapshot, whoever pulls it into their account, they just brand that form.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, I have a lot of deleting to do then to clean this
Yeah,
up.
because ideally forms, calendars, and surveys should never exist independently. They should always exist within a funnel page or a website page. So the branding actually happens on the funnel and website page itself. That's why you can have one form, one survey, and one calendar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like across different snapshots, you mean? Or like
Correct.
different brands kind of thing? Okay. And that's what my new person who is more familiar did. So I was like, who's correct in what they did? But she did it more, um, well, let me just look here. So the form builder, I think she did actually do one form for the freebie funnel that we had created because it was the buttons branded. But so really, ultimately, she didn't necessarily need to do that.
Correct. And it's when you build a snapshot, it's kind of like baking a cake. There are a million ways to do it, and as long as the cake comes out tasting like cake, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean how someone did it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of up to preference. When I build snapshots, I try and build as few assets as possible and always use funnel and website pages and things like that, and then have customization notes associated with them. So it really kind of depends on like what level of granularity you need. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, because like for example, if the anomaly and the DL have 2 different font types on the button, that's not really relevant by the time it goes into the client's account because they would just change the font type on the button, basically. Okay. Okay. I have 1,000 other questions, but I will leave that for now and come back to the next call because I don't want to take up too much time.
No, take your time. We may have a little bit of time here in a couple minutes if you want to just hang out for a little bit.
Okay.
All right, next up is Lisa.
Hi, thanks. Okay, so I also have a couple, but I'm just going to ask one and then I'll come back for the other one because I feel like that one's more complicated. Okay, so with the new global magic link,
Yep.
before I change anything, I really want to make sure I understand. So I have over 100 clients that have the same snapshot. They all have this, come on, this free product. Okay, it's a course in the membership site. They all have that. And right now, I'm just going to use this person. They get this welcome email to set up their password.
Yes.
So am I understanding that the global magic link would now, I could replace this set your password
Yeah.
and they would be able to go directly into that course.
Well, it would take them to their courses management area.
Okay.
And then because the community and courses portal and affiliate portal are all now one unified system.
Mm-hmm.
So the global magic link would take them to their dashboard where they can click on the course to visit it.
Okay, but they would not log in.
That's correct.
Okay, so if I change like this paragraph here, I'm doing this for 100 people, so I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. If I change this instruction here and I use that global magic link for this button in this template, they'll go in and they will have been already granted access. So
That's
they'll
correct.
see that course.
Yes.
Okay. So
Now always test it with one person.
of course, they absolutely will. My next question, same in the same lines, is that these people then go on like a 30-day email nurture, and in every single one of those emails is a link encouraging them to go back into that course. Right now, I use a custom value that takes them to the login page. But of course, if they hadn't set their password, then they're just at the login page. But if I use that new global magic link in those emails, that will do the same thing as this.
Yes.
Okay. Is there an easy way, or would I have to go into every single email template to do that?
You'd have to do that in every single email template, unless it's custom valued already.
So, oh, so wait, so would I be able to go into, like, this is the custom value currently?
Is that
Would
the
I,
custom value?
this is the custom value that I created that takes them to their login page.
You can see, I haven't tested this yet. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, where the custom value will allow you to put in a merge field. You'd have to test it.
So would I do that here in edit?
Yes.
And what would I put in then for the value? Would I put in the value of the global magic link?
It'd be the merge field for the magic link because it's not one link for everyone. Each link is uniquely serialized to each person.
Mm.
And again, you'd have to test it because sometimes it works and sometimes I've seen like some of them are enabled and some of them are not.
Okay, let me ask you this. If I went into the sub account that has the snapshot, could I change it in the snapshot and then push an update to everyone's account?
That
when-
would overwrite any customizations in the emails.
Yeah, but I have all the customizations in the emails. I have all by like it inserts the user signature email, it inserts the username and phone number at the top. Like there's no other customization in
Yeah.
it. They're all the
Yeah,
same.
you would be able to just go into the snapshot, swap out the login URL in the email body for the magic link swap link,
Okay.
and and then push the update to everybody. That would work.
Okay. And then I just noticed this when I pulled this up. It says unsuccessful and it says this number. He has two numbers. Why would it pull this number and not the default number? Is that in the workflow?
Yeah, it would be that, so go back to that conversation and hover over the three dots next to the unsuccessful, or a little bit left, right there.
Yep.
Yep, hit view details. Yeah, that one came from the 352 number.
Okay, but would that have come from there because of something in the workflow that I don't have set up right?
More than likely, yes. Is
Okay.
is it coming from, is that 352 number assigned to him as a user?
It's not real. I don't think so because it's actually
So go
he
to
just
my staff.
decided he wanted a local number. Like I haven't even done anything with it. I haven't even done the oh, it is
So go to my staff. And then edit his user. And check if go to call and voicemail settings. Yep, that's why.
oh,
Yep, now save that and it should be good.
okay. Thank you.
Yep,
Okay, if there's time, I'll come back on. I appreciate your help.
sure. Next up is Andrew.
Hey Mario, how we doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good. So I was trying to get this figured out with having multiple prompts, based on like who is chatting. Um, I don't know if this is exactly how it should work because it doesn't have a trigger. Well, I'm trying to share my screen, but it's moving slow. I'm gonna turn the video off just in case that's part of the issue. You see my screen?
Yep.
So basically we have it like as this is like a property management, so it's like a landlord and a renter, depending on if they, and then this would be like for inbound, so then we would just be like collecting, okay, what are you, who's reaching it out for everything else, because this would be like if we imported a list and then we were tagging them with those tags. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do a bulk push to those new tags, and then would it flow through here without having a trigger?
Yeah, well, you'd have to enroll them in the workflow manually somehow, whether it be through the conversation AI, the voice AI, manually adding them in bulk to the workflow.
Okay, so I need this trigger to, when I do a bulk push with these tags, is that what you're saying?
Triggers for tag added.
Say that again?
You'd want to add a trigger that is tag added.
Well, I was talking to, who's the guy that runs the Zappy check called Brian something?
I don't remember his name.
Brian something, I can't remember his last name, but he was saying
Yeah, his
so
name is Brian.
you get better tracking when you do a bulk because there's like analytics that run when you do a bulk push versus if it just is like a tag added.
Okay.
So I was hoping to do it from a bulk push, but I I just didn't know if this would catch, like, would it actually flow through this if it doesn't have a trigger?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you say bulk push, you're saying you're gonna show me like the way that you're gonna bulk push them. So you're gonna go to contacts
Yeah.
and then you're gonna select a bunch of leads.
Yeah, so it'd be like everything I added today that has a tag. So like even if I just select everyone and then I thought there was a
The add to automation is to the left.
okay, I see what you're saying. Then just do it this way.
Yep. That's if they already have the tags in place.
Okay. Oh, I see. And then just either schedule a time, add a drip, and then what would you put here?
That's just, you can just put test.
Oh, okay. And so then I'm just selecting that one workflow, the prompt selection. Oh, it's not published. That's probably why it's not showing. Okay. And okay. Cool. I think that's all I had then. And then, oh no, the last thing I had was in the thing. Do you think I should have it manually have like the whole prompt, or should I create like custom fields and then call those, if that makes sense? I don't know if I explained that. So let me just. So like example here, I kind of had it two ways. So like one for the intro message, I had it like written out, but in like the prompt, I have it where it's like it's calling like a custom value. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine. But my question would be like, so show me your SMS message.
I think I just wrote something generic.
Yeah, so you need a step in between the update contact field and the SMS message in order to do some sort of thing with OpenAI.
Oh, okay. What would that?
Because your update contact field isn't going to do anything with OpenAI, and the SMS isn't going to trigger Zappy Chat.
So what do I need to put here?
So the only one that would be relevant would be the ChatGPT premium action.
Hmm.
Yeah, the GPT powered by OpenAI.
And it still triggers Zappy Chat?
No, this doesn't trigger Zappy Chat. I'd recommend hopping on the Zappy Chat call again and having him go through your workflow because this isn't set up properly.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate it. I just missed it this morning because I forgot to sign up. I signed up for tomorrow morning, so
Yep,
I'll be
no
on.
worries.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Next up is Kelly.
All right, let me request share my screen here. Okay, started getting this set up here. Got start IVR. I did the condition. I'm using tag already contacted because I have everybody in my thing is already contacted. So if it's there, I don't want them to talk to that. If they call, I want them to send them to me. I want them to call. I want that to be forwarded to me. If already contacted is not in there, I want them to talk to I'll call her Jennifer, my AI phone number
So then you'd hit connect to call.
right here.
Yeah, you have connect to call right below it. And you'd pick a custom number. No, remember I said you had to put a custom number in there and then put the number for your bot.
Okay, so anybody who calls in my Houston one here, they're going to call out from this 346 number. So they're going to call back on that same number. And when they come in here, I want them to hit my 410 number. Why is
So
there?
you'd have to, nope, you have to hit custom number. So, yep, right below that.
Okay.
And then save this. Yep, there you go.
And if they're, then the same thing, they're going to call me right here.
Yep,
So I just do the same thing.
exactly.
Connect call. And I want this to record this number. So that would be. I want to record it. So it's one of my other numbers. I could use my 888 number, right?
Yeah, well, you can, on advanced settings, you can select it to record it.
Okay, and settings. What to call. Now, is that all I need to do now? If anybody calls back and it has the already contacted tag, they're going to send it to me.
That should work, yes.
Doesn't have that, and they're going to go in there and answer with the AI, right?
Yep.
So now that number in my, where is that call setting thing? Where do I go for that? Where is the AI? Voice, this one, voice AI.
Yes.
So if I go into book appointments here, the goal of this is to book an appointment. And so I just need to set up all these goals and stuff to answer those questions, right?
Yes, but remember, it can't actually book an appointment using voice AI.
What do I do?
Well, it can send people a text message or it can trigger a workflow, but it can't book appointments using voice AI.
So if I have them, if I send them a link to sign up for an appointment,
Yes.
and I just got to put that in the instructions here somewhere.
You put that in the send SMS card.
And that will be triggered when it asks.
Well, you set when it gets triggered, so you need to give it a name. So give it a name, call it book appointment. And you'd say sign up for an appointment here, and then you put in a link.
Put a what?
You put in a link.
In here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then if the user asks to book an appointment,
Okay.
and then what to say before sending the SMS, you'd put, I'm sending you a link to book an appointment.
Okay. So in this case, I mean, I've got either option, right? They can either call a transfer to me or send an SMS, depending upon what goes on in this conversation, right?
Yes.
So I can have both those selected, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let me work on that. And I can't save anything. I guess it's already
It
saved.
already saved it.
And if I have to come back, I'll come back.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Next up is Michael Klein.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Hey, I just had a quick question there. I'm very new to the platform. I can see there's going to be an immense amount of man hours involved with building out everything. But I had a curiosity question on the chatbots.
Sure.
Is there um, Does ZappyChat have, I've got ZappyChat building some bots for me, but HighLevel has got some bots as well that are inherent to HighLevel. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so of course the ones from ZappyChat are more in depth in their AI and
Exactly.
just a bigger deal. Okay. And do you know if the ZappyChat chats are resellable, or do they need to be integrated with GHL in order to function?
ZappyChat bots are standalone as well as integratable to GHL.
Okay. So they can.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to have to get some kind of subcontractor in to get me going because I work full time and kind of multitasking here. It just takes way too long to, for somebody that's new on the platform to figure it all out because I got a real estate thing going on and trying to stand up a SaaS site. Well, that's the other thing is, I loaded the snapshot for the SaaS, and I had designed just a logo with a nice little automator package, and it was black, red, and yellow. But by God, the website just looked absolutely ugly with the color combinations that were drawn from the logo. So I've got to remake the logo. But really, what I'm prompting here is a question. I guess the SaaS site snapshot rather is totally customizable to the full extent as far as visibility. I mean, visually it's got to be very appealing, right? And
Yes.
kind of like cookie cutter basic starting point, but I don't think would be appropriate to market under, with a professional, you know, from a professional perspective or trying to get that look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. All righty. I guess that covers it for me today.
Cool.
Thanks.
And next up is Dan Doyle.
Hey, how are you?
Dan?
Quick question for you, if you don't mind. I'm going to share real quick, and I
Sure.
think I already know the answer to this, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. All right. So building funnels on mobile. Is there any way to like bulk edit the margins, padding, and all that kind of stuff, or do you got to do it one by one every single time?
Wish that is a feature I have been asking for eons.
Right. Okay. So there's not. All right. So that being said, let me ask you something. If you're doing something kind of like a layout like what I got here, thinking mobile first, I don't care. It'll live on the desktop fine. When you get into here, okay, I'm kind of after trial and error, bless you, like throwing everything into one section just because there's like less margin editing. Am I wrong in doing that, or is it just a preference thing?
The advantage to sections is you can color them differently. The other advantage to sections is that you can tag them differently and structure them differently. There's nothing wrong with doing it in one section.
All right. So since you can't edit it in bulk, do you have like any like suggestions to like, hey, the padding should be 5 or 10, because the padding's 20, and then you get into the row, the padding's like 10, and then there's another one where the padding's like 15. Before you know it, you can fit like on the mobile screen, there's like one thing. Do you have any like best practices that like, you've come up with on your own as far as like, hey, use these numbers? Because I am beyond annoyed with this.
I use 5555 and I strip most of the rest of the stuff out.
Okay. All right. So maybe I just set up one 55555, and then as I need more, I'll just duplicate it so I don't
Yep,
have to.
that's what I was going to recommend.
Okay. And then down like on this one too. So if I just scroll down a little bit, like this is a video element. I don't know if this comes standard as 10, but are you doing 5 there too?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Try and keep mine as squished as possible personally because I like fitting more content on the page.
yeah, me too. And I'm just kind of like, finding like, oh crap, I didn't edit this one. And then if I made the mistake of making it too small, where it was like 1 or 0, and then I couldn't click back into it. Couldn't get the mouse to like find it again. It was like just me being frustrated. All right, well, if you come up with some genius way to do that in bulk, holler.
Cool, will do.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Next up is Trevor, and then last will be Ocean, because I do have I have a hard stop here shortly. So
Mine will be probably. I got a community, and here it is right here. And all I want to know is that in my community, I have, all of these different subgroups within my community, and I want to give certain communities or certain members of the community access to my course, but it's not for everybody. But it seems like if I add any course here to learning, everybody gets access, and it doesn't seem as though you cannot. Okay, this thing sucks. So
because those are channels within your community. They're not individual groups.
Okay.
So think of it more like Slack.
Gotcha. So is there a workaround where, because I was trying to keep having to go to different, having to log into multiple different groups for every little thing?
Yeah, you'd have to create, instead of it being Black CEO, it'd have to be like Convert and Flow Labs, Ask a Black CEO Coach. Each one of those would be their own community. And they wouldn't have to log into different ones. They just hit the 9 dots in the top right corner and switch communities.
Gotcha. And so they would just switch the 9 dots to switch in communities. So sort of, so all right. Okay. All right. Is that how it works in school as well?
I've actually never used school, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Okay, no worries. All right, let me move on to the next person, because I've already added myself to your calendar. So thanks, though.
Yep, no problem. And last up is Ocean.
Oh, hey again. Okay, so and you have a hard stop in 7 minutes, is that right?
That's correct.
Okie dokie. So I just wanted to share my screen one more time just to make sure that this is the direction to go. So, okay, this is the first one that was created based on the vision of what I had of a snapshot. So there's our opt-in funnel, and then this is the thank you page. And then what she did is she had book a single session or book a session package as 2 different landing pages with 2 different calendars. Does that make sense, or should it be, or does it really matter?
It doesn't. It's personal preference.
Okay.
I like the grouping function a little bit better. And then having one calendar page with a group page embed that you can select between the 2.
Well, what does that mean?
So go to calendars, go to calendar settings. And you see how you have the group discovery call, group sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually, if you go to groups, scroll up a little bit and go to groups on the left-hand side.
Oh, I see it.
So each one of these can be embedded as a group entity on the page, where it would show like 3 tile boxes or 4 tile boxes, one for each option in the group.
Okay, so I could have like single package, or sorry, single session or package. Both are put in a group, and then the group is embedded on the page.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. So if someone was offering either discovery calls, single sessions, or package sessions, and I put all those in a group, that's what you would put on embedded on the page.
That's correct.
And then the client would choose between which one?
They would choose, yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. That's
Sure.
helpful. Okay.
Anything else?
I think the piece is just about like, I think it's like you said, it just comes down to preference, because I'm just wanting to reduce, like I really liked what you had said about reducing the amount of things and just utilizing one kind of form across all of them. So yeah, I just have to work my mind around that and kind of rebuild it based on that.
Cool.
I think that's it. Okay. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank all of you for joining us today on this beautiful Monday. I am currently in Dallas, Texas, getting ready for the SaaSpreneur Live event end of this week. So if anyone is joining SaaSpreneur Live, I would love to see you. Come meet me. I will be at the HLPT booth. And if not, I will see all of you guys on Wednesday for our AI and updates call. Make sure, and if you don't follow me on YouTube already, I'm going to drop my link tree in the Zoom chat. So follow me on YouTube, and I will post recaps of all of these calls. So if you have any questions, you can always ask there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.